Switzerland. Moisey side by side through Pouan. Oh, it was. That's a big old twist in a bank. And you watch them more wide down to Lincoln. Venezuela and Canada separated by less than 2/10. How have they all made it into Lincoln? Are they going to make it out of Lincoln? No, they're not. There's big contact and Germany are involved and over the barrier.
All right, so I'm here in Valencia in a bit different of a capacity than normal. I'm here for the FIA Motorsport Games with ASN Canada. I'm here with Daniel, the volunteer director of esports for the ASN. And so I'm here not exactly with TWOth. We do have one of our drivers, Megan Tomlinson, who will be competing in the TCR. But me personally, I'm here in a media capacity on the esports side. So we have our driver, Kevin Foster, who's competing in the F4 esports round. He will be having qualifying today, and then he'll have a series of races that will hopefully continue to qualify further up the grid and make it to the finals, where we can hopefully pull the best result possible for Canada. But it should be a pretty exciting event. It's the third time this event has been held, second time Canada has participated. And so Kevin's coming in with some good experience. He comes from the real life F4 side of things. He finished third in French F4 last year, but he's also very competent and experienced sim racer with lots of experience and very, very competitive on that side as well. Just a general all around really, really qualified and fast guy, real good peddler. And so we've been here a couple days already. Today is the first day of competition though. Last night we had our opening ceremonies, and today is the first official day of on-track action, both in real life and on the sim side. So really excited to get going on that in a couple hours. Kevin is in Group 2, so his sessions start at 3:30, I believe, around that time. And he'll have a 1-hour practice session, and then he will be going on to a 10-minute qualifier. From there, that'll set the grid for his group. Sorry, it's a bit loud out here in the streets of Valencia. Just headed back to our hotel, but they'll set the grid for his first session, first race. And then after that, it's finishing order going forward. So got to make the most of each opportunity. Excited to get going on that, and we'll take you along for the ride. So how you feeling now? It's competition day.
Pretty chill.
I think Kevin doesn't have a pulse.
You excited at all?
Yeah, I am. I mean, it's 1 hour practice and then 15 or 10-minute general quali. So I'm gonna spend some time to put together a run plan for the practice. Probably do like 2 race stints and then 2 quali stints. That's probably all I have time for.
Mm-hmm.
Verify.
Do you get the full hour?
Yeah, we get the full hour. So probably, yeah, 2 race stints, 2 or 3 quali runs. Verify what kind of fuel loads that I'm gonna need to run. Whether it's quicker to do 1 lap in quali then reset 1 lap again, or if you go out for 3 consecutive laps and the tires build up temp.
Cool. Excited to see how the competition stacks up.
I am interested. I think it's going to be really tight right at the front, but then you'll see kind of a drop off towards the tail end of the field.
Transfer that is not working. I know that Eric already sent an email to the ASN, but just to let you know, at the moment we're missing United Kingdom.
If I take a look back at my sim racing journey, it originally started by trading one of my old carts with my friend Spence Hogg, who traded me his sim racing rig at the time, and found that there was just a space where you could lap out for hours on end. And whereas in days that you would need to go to the track, you'd have to prepare when you wake up, you got to prepare tires, fuel, and it's a whole event. Whereas sim racing, you turn on the computer, you load up the sim session, and you're good to just run laps for as long as you want. And that kind of evolved to then pursuing a more professional approach by getting into iRacing and then building a dedicated sim for myself with professional level hardware, and then since then been putting in some pretty competitive times. From a competition aspect, I think I'm cautiously optimistic. That'd probably be the best way to word it. Eager to get in the seat and just drive. All of these nerves that build up pre-race, they all dissipate as soon as you're in the seat and you do your first few laps. I think the first practice session will really set the tone for the entirety of the weekend, whether we've got work to do in terms of pace to catch up on, or if we've got a decent enough pace to mix it up with the front guys. I know that I've done the best possible job in my mind preparing, and so now that we have all our cards, it's now to see where they lay.
Alright, well, P6 is not terrible. If we just hold position, we automatically qualify for the final, so it could be worse.
Yeah, P6 is pretty good.
We just got to stay or keep our nose clean for the race and then just qualify. You don't want to do the last chance qualifiers. You know, everybody's going to be making silly moves, and hope that the front guys, we can just train and racecraft and experience. Hopefully that pays off. We can pick up maybe one position, so at least inside row. Outside row could suck, getting dive bomb T1. That's the end of your race.
So that's qualifying wrap for Kevin. P6 is actually a pretty fantastic result. He felt like there could be more in it, but that's just the racer's mentality, always wanting to get more out of it. He optimally probably did have more pace in it, a couple corners that he wasn't matching what his best times were, but still, to be P6 in what I think is probably the most competitive group is pretty exciting. Sets him up in a good place for the race tomorrow. He has one race tomorrow, as long as he doesn't end up in last chance qualifying, which I don't think he will. He should have pace to stay in the top 10, especially starting from 6, possibly even to gain more from there. And so, he's in a good spot. Really competitive field, though, and so he should be able to keep position just the one race tomorrow, move forward on to the semifinals, and then because he's coming from such a competitive group going forward, it should be a lot easier because that competitiveness will transfer forward. It won't be the case where if he's 6th in our group, he drops down to 12th overall when we merge with other groups. He should be able to still be in range of that top 5 group, and making it to the final should be well on the cards. Excited to get started?
I am.
Are you glad that you're getting it done earlier?
Yeah. I would have liked to have been session 2, but I guess the first session is nice because everybody will probably take it more cautiously.
Yeah, I feel like
it'll be the other sessions. We'll see how measured these are and try and be more aggressive.
Yeah.
I think it's an amazing opportunity to represent Canada because I feel like we're one of the largest countries by landmass. Population-wise, not so much, but then motorsports-wise, we have basically no infrastructure in comparison to, say, Europe or even the States. So to come over to show that Canada can produce some top-level drivers, and even though from a small population we have that peak talent available, that's really what I'm here to try and showcase, and I'm really proud to be one of them representing the ASN.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the arena for the FIA Motorsport Games esports competition, day number 1. And Chaz, what a start to the day we have had. We're going to the Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps and we're going to be going there in iRacing in the FIA F4 car. And they're only, Chaz, 15 minutes long races.
Yeah, absolutely. There's nothing about these upcoming races that will bear any resemblance to what we've seen before now over the course of this day's streaming. You know, I think it's going to be very, very exciting.
And they're here for this.
There's a bit of shenanigans at the back of the field already, as it seems, but the race has actually started counting down and we have cracked on Brazil lead the way from Switzerland, but, well, by about a nose, as now they are side by side down the Kemmel Straight. Side by side, oh, there's a spinner just behind as well. Sweden tumbling down the order, Paul.
Oh, that's a real shame. So early into the race again, immediately what we expected. Very frantic, very dramatic. There's another spinner as well, so a few drivers recovering. We predicted, Chaz, that this would be a little bit bonkers, and it seems like we did miss the first corner, but it does seem like it's bonkers there on after.
Well, it's the fact that half of them came down the hill with no wings on the back of them. You could definitely tell it was a lively first corner. Canada in 4th position, then Argentina, Malaysia, Andorra, Chinese Taipei, Georgia and Bangladesh, currently the qualifying teams.
Fantastic stuff, but look at this, the slipstream in a Formula car is so much more powerful than we saw in ACC and GT, and oh dear, powerful as well is contact with the barrier. Not quite sure who that was, but that is it. Oh, Canada was final one of the race. I was just going to say that one. Apologies for not sounding too excited. With Switzerland, Brazil, one of the favourites coming into this race are round. Everything seems to be hanging onto the car just about. He's got 4 wheels, he's got a front wing. That's pretty much a win when you've had that kind of contact. But Brazil all the way down at 6th, 7th, but I reckon that might even be a little bit further. That is a very lucky end result for Brazil.
One of the main differences with our time in here is that updates in real time, not in seconds.
So Kevin's race just took place and it did not go great. Not for anything that Kevin did. He was killing it. He had a fantastic start up to 4th, and he was fighting well, really in that battle, properly in the pack. And then I believe on the first lap, Argentina comes through and takes him out. We talked to him a bit after, and he said that he thought he was slow, might have had damage, so went for an overtake. And he just clips his back wheel with his front wing. Just fully spins him out, terminal damage, can't restart the race, just out of it completely, just like that. And I mean, it's an unfortunate thing to happen. It's stupid. It was not a smart move from Argentina to make that. If he thought he had damage, he should have been a bit more patient and not just fully sent it around the outside. And he probably should have left him a little bit more room, but doesn't necessarily mean it's the end for us. Kevin does go to last chance qualifying. It's going to be quite a slog, going to be a really hectic race. If this was the type of racing they were showing in the regular races, especially in the top 5, then I can only imagine how desperate people will be to make it to the finals through last chance, or semifinals through last chance qualifying. And so it's going to be a lot of work to get there, but still have opportunities ahead of us. And Kevin's going to be super fast, so he still has good opportunities to fight for this. We can see what happens now.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the 2024 FIA Motorsport Games here in Valencia. We're nearing the end of the day. The sunshine in the background here outside the museum is starting to dip down behind the horizon, but the racing action is still as hot as ever. We've got just 2 races left to go here today on Friday, and it's the 2 Formula 4 races on iRacing, the last chance qualifiers. It's myself, Chaz Draycott, and Paul Jeffrey with you as the commentary team. And Paul, we've had a fantastic mix of action today. Races where drivers have taken it a little bit easier, races where drivers have just been straight out of the blocks and caused a bit of mayhem. I think the most mayhem is probably bundled up now into these 2 15-minute races.
Yeah, we've got the F4s, which we've already seen, are quite a spicy thing.
Amazing.
And then we've had a protracted delay, so people can just sit around and think, how am I going to attack this one? That's a recipe for what's going to be, I'm sure, either dramatic, exciting, incredible, or a lot of wheels bouncing around. And I can't wait to find out.
I know, yeah. It's going to be absolutely awesome fun. So just to give you an idea, before the racing gets underway, we've had 3 quarter-final races so far. 10 drivers from each of those have qualified into tomorrow's semi-finals, and these drivers now are the ones that didn't make it through on the first attempt. So there's a bit of pented up, I don't want to say anger or rage, it's more just a case of frustration. That's a very lovely way of putting it, Paul. Very well done. So they will now, well, it's pented up. I've already explained it, really. It's pented up, so they've had time to boil on that and think about it a lot, and now they've got to throw themselves into these races. But unlike what we saw in the GT last chance qualifiers, this is only a 15-minute race, and what's that around Spa? 7 laps? You know, it's not that long at all, really, when you think about it.
And the difference is that we saw in the GTs as well, because of the nature of the cars, the nature of the racing, you can be a bit strategic, you can sort of build into whatever it is that you're doing. In the Formula 4s, massive slipstream, plus a massive slipstream in circuit, You can't do that. It is action, 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 checkered flag, where am I?
Yeah.
And that's absolutely, I love that.
Yeah, and we're the same. We're actually the same here at our desk. We just sort of can't figure out quite what we're doing at one point. You know, we don't know where to look. These races are incredible. So we have cars on screen now. We have Botswana and Armenia on the front row of the grid. Venezuela and Argentina on row 2. There's a number of big names in here that we expect to make it through, but it's only the top 5, Paul, that go through from this one, and the last chance qualifiers are underway at Spa.
Yeah, here we go then for the run down into La Source hairpin for the very first time in this final race. Everybody avoids the inside wall. That's one up on the last time.
Wow.
And that is a really attacking opening start there for
Venezuela. That was, they cut back down the inside at La Source. Botswana led into the first corner ahead of Armenia, but I tell you what, Venezuela really sorted that cut back out. Botswana cuts across the front of them at Eau Rouge, up over the top at Radion. Is anybody going to close together? 3 wide as they go up towards the Kemmel Straight. It's 3 by 3 already, Paul. This is exactly what we're here for. Everybody's got to be careful not to move around too much. They're 4 wide down to Lakecom. Everybody hold your breath. I've still got to talk though, because it's my job. They're going to get hard onto the brakes now. Somehow Armenia have been swallowed up in the middle. How have they all made it into Lecom? Are they going to make it out Lecom? No, they're not. There's been contact and Germany are involved and over the barrier. And well, it's going to be inevitable when they're 4 wide. But oh my goodness me, Paul, that exploded straight off the bat.
Yeah, that was inevitable, I think is the word you used, and that is absolutely right. 5 wide at one point through the Cobb. Everybody was sort of going, hey, well done us, we've made it through, forgetting there's a corner exit, and then everybody came together. Unfortunately, India are already out of the race. Germany we saw heading straight into one of the grandstands over the wall, it seems like. Peru look like they're in a little bit of strife as well, but at the front of the field, it is Venezuela that are our race leaders. Canada up in the 2nd position as well. Portugal just moving up in the 3rd as well there, so that's a nice move for the bottom step of the provisional podium as things stand. Botswana down in 4th, Argentina in 5th, and then you've got Israel, Ukraine, Armenia, and the aforementioned ever so slightly hobbled cars recovering back on track. And there's another crash into the wall.
Yeah, how you feeling about this?
I'm shaking right now because I thought it was the outside car in the first major incident that we all saw coming as they were 4 wide going down the main straight. So I haven't quite calmed down yet, but he's currently running 2nd and I'm sweating from every pore in my body right now. So honestly, he just needs to log laps with where he is. He's not under threat from anyone. He just needs to run practice laps, and we're through to at least the semis.
And before you know it, you suddenly got no downforce and you say hello to the barriers. And Chaz, that's the fight I was talking about for our current race lead.
Very, very close together. It was 1.5 seconds earlier on, but now Venezuela have been reined back in by Canada. And this is the thing, the slipstream in these cars is very strong, but it's also quite a long-lasting slipstream as well. You can get it from about 1.7 seconds back, so it's quite the distance. And it seemed like Venezuela were just in that range to get it. And now, look, they've got a couple of tenths of a second run on the Venezuela car, so they move over to the left hand side. The wheel is staying perfectly straight, you can see that. They don't want to move over on each other. This is good respect, but this could be them working together. Yeah, Venezuela slots back in, they don't try and defend the position too hard, and now if they just lap after lap continue swapping, then they will continue to move forward and away from Argentina and the rest of the drivers in the top 5. If I was Israel right now, I'd just sit behind him. I wouldn't even go for the move down the straight, just wait.
You don't want to be in the top 5, do something silly, and then with only 7 cars finishing, not qualify.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to have it in your grasp and then lose it. It's better to not have it in your grasp and then gain it at the last minute, rather than vice versa. Here are our leaders then, Canada and Venezuela together as they head up the Kemmel Straight. Venezuela slipstreaming and getting closer, moving to the right-hand side, going to go down the inside into Lecom. They're going to clear them before the braking zone. Look at that. Incredible slipstreaming. Great cheer from the crowd. They absolutely love that one. Canada now into 2nd place. I don't think they'll mind that too much, to be honest, Paul. There's still a great slipstreaming opportunity and, of course, a hard braking zone at the end of the lap, but this is Spa. We've got about 14 miles before we get to that point.
And to be fair, I expect these positions to change at least twice before we even get to the end point where there's going to be some decisions. So, again, just like we said, this is just posturing, this is just playing the game, this is just building until you get to the action zone, which, frankly, up with the exit of the bus stop chicane, that's where my money's on, for sure.
Yep. I think maybe a little bit of move into the bus stop chicane, and if Canada can make it work and really park the car, then that'll be it done. We'll have to see though, because how many times have we seen a move get made, a car try to make it back and always contact at the bus stop, and it always gets a bit nasty and tangly in these things when that happens, especially in open wheel cars. So It's going to be a tough one. This is where the main opportunity is going to come, though. And if you are Canada, you want about 2 or 3 car lengths, actually, to Venezuela to get a really big slingshot past them. You don't want to get stuck up behind that rear wing.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got to be very cautious. Now, this is going to be tentative moments for these two drivers. Both drivers can smell success in the air. They can taste the virtual, of course, champagne in their mouths. But the big thing is, you can be the biggest hero or the biggest zero in this scenario. It could all go very right or very wrong.
Here they go then. Canada moves to the left-hand side, trying the outside then inside method here, trying to go later on the brakes. Venezuela stops the car very, very well, parks it on the inside, nice and tidy. Can Canada get the cutback? Doesn't look like it. Hands together, everybody, as Venezuela take the win in the last chance qualifiers. Lovely, tidy performance there. Canada through as well. Argentina third place, Portugal in fourth, and Israel will take fifth position.
That was insane.
Could not believe it, man.
We led in that from 10th to 1st.
Yeah.
We led.
Where were you
I
in
have
that
no idea
huge
where you
crash?
were, yeah.
Yeah, I got it on the first lap.
You were up to second?
Yeah, on the first lap.
But
Where were you in that big crash coming into the chicane?
I was ahead of it.
Already?
I thought you were the outside car
I
that
know,
got spun,
there's
so I was
many
almost
cars
sick
that
to
are,
my
red,
stomach.
are white and red that I was like, oh fuck, I
If the
thought it was
business is true, that you left your... Sorry. Oh my goodness. What a race. I had no practice because I had to swap sims twice. And so just the first lap was like remembering what I needed to do.
That's how you picked the pace up, like, big time. You ran the Venezuelan down. I don't know if he was having problems, but... Dude, I was shaking. Shaking.
What were you thinking into that last chicane? Were you
You
like,
want to watch the replay?
you were like, man, maybe
I would love to watch
were you
the
like
replay,
thinking about
yes.
maybe going for it?
I thought about it, but in reality, it was like if we crash, I would look really stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Today's not what matters.
I thought you would favor the outside to take the.
Do you want to watch this?
Absolutely, I do.
Do you want to see giga reaction time? Fast, like. So, if we're at 10th, right? Starting 10th, there's 2 cars. Around the outside of 2 on the start.
Oh, and you got a crazy exit there.
And then Portugal, I had the draft from the guy in front. He had no draft or less of it. Watch this. This is where the run happens. Like, jeez.
Oh, that's sketchy. Holy shit. Yeah, no wonder they're going 4 wide. You were the one that brought it 4 wide?
Full send.
Holy moly.
And then Israel, I mean, at this point I'm ahead, so it's like, damn.
Yeah, and then carnage behind.
Oh, man.
And then watch this.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah, they
Around
were
the
showing none of
outside.
that.
And then
Behind you,
P2.
everybody died.
There we go. We got the job done. We got the job done.
Well, this congratulations, you've done it to tomorrow, so good race.
I need a drink. I need a cold beer. Oh my god. Great job, buddy.
You want me to reopen so you can check?
So it's finals day here, Saturday, at the Arts Center in Valencia. And because of Kevin's crazy run last night and last chance, he's made it through to semis. So he's on for semis in about an hour. Right now, it's just the final semi-finals for the GT race going on right now. So we're getting excited. Kevin's getting excited. He's kind of zoned in on it. He's ready to go. He's got a plan for the race, and so that should hopefully go really well. He's got really good pace on the field, so he should be able to make a charge through, especially with how crazy the passing opportunities have been at Spa. The fact that he went from 10th to 2nd before the first chicane in his last chance qualifying, insane. So hopefully we can see another run like that, but also just keeping it safe, because this race doesn't need to finish as high up as he did in last chance. He only needs to finish in the top 10 to advance to the finals, which is overall our main goal for this tournament. Was if we can make it to the finals, Kevin can make it to the finals, that'll be a big achievement, and that'd just be super exciting to see Canada represented in the final. But you never know, when he makes it there, he's got pace. He can do anything. You never know what's going to happen with how chaotic this competition has been, how many big players have gone out early because of incidents, how the field has been shuffled up. It's really a dice roll on whether or not you make it through and how you place, and especially even if you're leading into the last lap, as we've seen in some of these quarterfinals and previous races before, that coming out of the last corner, you could be leading and you can get crashed out. It's quite intense so far this weekend, but we got some more racing to go, 2 more semifinals, and then the final race this afternoon. So no matter what, we're going to see a champion crowned today, and we just got to hope that Kevin's in that fight and in for a shot with it. So yeah, going to be a super exciting day, I think.
How are you feeling leading up to this?
How am I feeling what?
Leading up to this.
I am way more stressed than I thought I would be right now, yeah. And it's only practice. And I think the reason why I'm stressed was yesterday was just chaos. I just want him to stay out of trouble. I know that he can make it on pure pace, but I'm terrified of what his surroundings are going to look like. So, to be honest, I just want finals. It's finals or bust, I think. And if we don't make it, I think we made some noise at the very, very minimum. So that's everything that's going through my head, I guess, right now.
I think the ultimate end goal every time you hop into a car is being able to drive it without thinking. You're in that flow state and everything happens naturally. You don't have to think about when you brake, you don't have to think about when you turn in. It just all happens very naturally. And reaching that point is really difficult, and it doesn't happen a lot, but when it does, that's some of the most rewarding laps that you can make on the circuit.
The revs will rise, as indeed will ours here in the commentary box, and we will get the first semi-final underway then from Spa-Francorchamps, and it's Singapore and Hungary on the front row.
Look at Brazil on the outside for the run down into Le Combe for the very first time. That's the Brazilian car, I think it is. A little bit on the grass almost. The outside line is where you are vulnerable, but that will become the inside line. And look at that for a move.
That was so tiny, but very gutsy at the same time, though. You have to have the confidence in your fellow competitors to cut all the way across like that, back down the inside at Le Combe. We look here at Attila Bucci, the Hungarian driver, pulled off possibly the highlight move of the competition so far. Oh, there's cars off in the background of Brichet. That's the United Kingdom falling down the order, unfortunately, having a nightmare day.
I don't know how the hell he's done it, but that's a relief. I just hope it stays clean.
We're looking at now on the run down to Le Combe. This is the outside line. Normally you don't want to be there, but that will become the inside line, fanning out as they go too wide in places, several rows of this particular battle pack, and that is position not gained, surprisingly enough. Come off the throttle, stay out of trouble. It's not worth the fight at this moment in time.
Up to P10.
I know, sorry, I was distracted by a baby. I don't know how he's done it. I've seen him make a few moves in the straightaway. I'm still stressed, like, with the way these races have gone. But I could almost see that we could wave the flag in the final right now, so this is going to be the longest 10 minutes of the whole weekend.
Brazil and Singapore side by side. Brazil back into the lead, although actually that's them sort of retaining the lead, isn't it? Because they've just sort of gone one way then the other with Singapore.
And I must say I'm very surprised, but they're actually doing a really stellar job of maintaining that gap to the this little battle pack that we're looking at now. They're squabbling amongst themselves. Brazil and Singapore 2 seconds to the good at the front of the field, which is borderline unheard of.
Yeah. This has been an amazing start. Super impressed. Now we just have to hang on for 6 minutes. 6 very, very stressful minutes. Can't breathe yet. Not regularly anyway.
Going to go as late as he dares on the brakes. Hold your breath, everyone, because here we go. Round the outside, he does it. Oh, there's contact, though. Brazil runs wide as well. Nothing malicious in that, but Luis is going to take the victory. Mohamed Ali will still be very happy with second position. Czech Republic in third. Italy fourth. Denmark fifth. And it's Chile, Hungary, Canada, Chinese Taipei, and Croatia. What a fantastic race, Paul.
Yeah, man. Yes, we're in the final, baby. Canada's in the final. P8. Attaboy, Kevin. Good luck, man.
2024 esports competitions. This is the final Formula 4 race of the weekend, and Paul,
I mean, the GTs have been phenomenal. The stars of the show really, in terms of just crazy quick-fire excitement, have definitely been these Formula 4 cars. About this is the fact that it's still a 15-minute sprint race. They've not extended the time of the race. It's still just like, it's going to be one every time it is. But still, you can also see as well.
I think ultimately it comes down to passion, but so does any sport. What would be something more exclusive that would pertain to motorsports? I think it's that unique crossover where man and machine need to be in perfect harmony. It's the only real sport where if everything on the mechanical side is working and everything on the driver and biological side is working, then you'll see this beautiful amalgamation of sport where you see people that are able to do certain things that you wouldn't think are physically possible.
Revs will rise then. Is everybody ready for a final? Let's get going, shall we, Paul? Let's do this. Spa-Francorchamps awaits and we're underway. And it's a great start for Singapore from third on the grid. Switzerland dropped down immediately on the outside line, but that is not going to mean anything in this first lap. They're all going to tiptoe their way around La Source for the first time.
Write it down in your diary. Muhammad Ali makes very few mistakes indeed, and that was one of them, but he's got away with it, as you say. Brazil still keeping a watching brief in second position. Look at that, like a hungry pack of hornets in the background. These little Formula 4 FIA cars are all trying line astern at the moment to find a way past each other and play a high-speed game of very exciting chess. Yes, and lots of cars, not a lot of tarmac, very into the chicane, but they make it through just about.
That shows you the level of talent we're dealing with here, everybody. A massive round of applause as they make that through there. They were 3 wide into the bus stop, and look at it, 2 by 2 by 2. Paul rightly noted it as Noah's Ark earlier on in the weekend, and it very much is. It's just Noah's Ark without the water, I suppose. But right now, Brazil leading the way, doing a fantastic job at holding that position. Then it's Switzerland, and then, well, everyone in third position, I'd say, Paul. Everyone wants a bronze medal by the look of it. They all want gold for sure, but bronze is immediately in front of them. And now a move down the inside, very late onto the brakes. Hopefully no contact into there. They kept it very tidy. Nearly made a bit more contact as they exit the corner as well. The whole top 8 is separated by less than 2 seconds, Paul. After 7.5 minutes of racing. Ooh. Oh, there's a car running wide there. I think that was the second place car, Brazil.
To the inside, there's no room there.
Oh,
in fact, if anything, in that little hole, there goes the Czech Republic. Thank you very much. We'll move up one.
We've got Brazil now, putting the car in the middle of the road. Switzerland around the outside. He's going to try and make that move down the inside. That is an absolutely delightful move, but he lost it. No, Switzerland is around in front of the pack. And after such an incredible race, he's just overdone it that little bit. It's now Brazil, Republic of Korea, then Czech Republic still holding the top 3 places. Netherlands and Singapore are suddenly knocking on the door for a medal. Brazil on the right-hand side of your shot there, and then Republic of Korea on the right-hand side of them. Into Lecom they go, around the outside, great respect, lovely room left as well. Through Malmedy they go, Republic of Korea lead this race once again. Brazil try and get the cutback now towards Boucher, slight slide to the right-hand side, looking down the inside once more, tries to get it stopped to the apex, quite the send in there, nearly wheel-to-wheel contact. They are not giving each other an inch here, Paul. Round the outside of no-name corner, can they make that work? I don't think they can, but you know what, they've proven me wrong. Clip the gravel through they go. Republic of Korea suddenly on the defensive now. Brazil about to take 2 gold medals in one of each of the categories here at the FIA Motorsport Games esports competition. Round the outside, Kadlecic gives it a go. Brazil slides wide, keeps it to the apex of the corner. It's going to be side by side for bronze. Brazil are going to do it. There's an incident in the background. They're 4 wide for second at the FIA Motorsport Games, and it's the Czech Republic that finish in second place, I believe. Republic of Korea, I think, dropped down into third, but there is no definite way of knowing, Paul. They were 4 wide for second, third, fourth, and fifth.
Okay, so we're here at the Circuit de Record Tormo, and it's the end of the weekend. It's Sunday, end of it all. Last night, we got into we had some fun. Let's just say that. Made lots of really good friends, and then yeah. But then yesterday, Kevin, his final went okay. He had pace, he was fighting, but then on the opening lap, somebody tagged him, gave him damage, disconnected him from the lead pack. At that point, there wasn't much he could do. He's just fighting his own race. And then the second to last corner, coming into Blanchiment, Luxembourg decided to take it 3 wide with him in the US, and it took him all out. So he ended up finishing 14th, which is still 1 position up from where he started, but regardless, it's just not a great emotional way to end the weekend, to go down on a note like that. But today we decided to come to the circuit just to see it finally, since we had a free day and we didn't get to go to the circuit at all this weekend. So we just did a track walk. It's pretty fun. It's getting dark now. It's been getting dark fast because now all the events are over. We catch some drifting, stuff like that. But it's an amazing facility. We were talking about how jealous we are that this exists here and how cool of a track it is, what the spectating experience must be like, because the entire thing is surrounded by grandstands. And so such an incredible venue. Would have been cool to see more of the racing here, but it seems like it was an okay week for our other 2 Canadian entrants as well, which was awesome. Megan had her fair share of fights in TCR, and I didn't get to catch up with her, but I'm sure she enjoyed that experience. And then Ava podiumed. She got a medal in cross car mini, so a bronze medal for Canada from Ava in a category she's never driven before. So that's really awesome to see her do. But yeah, it's been a good weekend so far, and probably going to close out after this. We might see if we can run on, catch up with some of the other people from the esports side that we made friends with over the weekend. But otherwise, it's looking like we're getting ready to wrap up. Daniel and I leave tomorrow morning. Kevin leaves Tuesday, so definitely got to wrap up soon. But it's been such an awesome experience just to see Kevin make it to the finals with how competitive this field was. There are world-class athletes here, Team Redline guys, Team Williams Esports guys, some guys that are teammates with Max Verstappen on his sim stuff. So I would say it was a pretty successful weekend altogether, just putting on a good show for Canada, giving Kevin the opportunity to fight hard. And so anyway, if I don't see you again, catch you later.